Hey guys, what's up? It's Jessie Hilgenberg, and in today's video, you are going to learn 5 exercises that are going to build strength and improve your squat. And what that comes down to, you guys, is that you basically need to stop squatting and start focusing on accessory lifts. We're gonna work the entire posterior chain today. We're gonna switch up the stance a little bit. We're gonna do some single leg movements. You're gonna learn a lot, so let's go. Okay guys, our first exercise is the Nordic curl or glute ham raise. I'm loading a barbell heavy enough to support me and with a plate just large enough to scoot my feet under. Your knees should be about hip width apart, keeping a straight line with the entire front of the body with your hands out in front, ready to catch yourself when your hamstring strength gives out in the eccentric or lowering portion. This movement is challenging for weak hamstrings. Your goal is to control the entire movement slowly as you ascent and descent. Notice that my ribs are still stacked on top of my pelvis, but I have a small micro bend in my hips on the way up. Keep that position, but don't allow a full bend at the hips. Otherwise, your hamstrings aren't working the concentric or the ascent portion of the move. Next up are Romanian deadlifts. These are awesome for strengthening the core and posterior chain and learning how to use your hips properly during your lifts. Approach the bar and stop when the barbell is right above your midfoot. Grab the bar evenly, preferably from a racked position. With your feet hip width apart, lock in your lats. This can feel like you're moving your shoulder blades back and down if you're beginning. And move your hips backward into flexion as if you're trying to touch the back wall with your glutes only. This is a hip hinge, or sometimes called a hip slide. Your knees should stay in place, your shins vertical, and your spine rigid and solid. Keeping the lats locked in will help you keep that bar close to the front of your legs the entire way down and up. You'll stop at the bottom when your hamstrings are stretched or about mid-shin. Squeeze your glutes, press your feet into the floor, and hinge or slide the hips back forward in extension to the starting position. Exercise number 3, let's go find a squat rack. We're gonna do split stance squats, and these are great for unilateral strength, stability, and to correct any muscle imbalances that you may have, as well as building strength and power in your squat. Set the J-hook so that your barbell isn't too high so that you have to get up on your tiptoes to unrack, but not so low that you're ducking way down to unrack. Right at that fleshy part of your front delts is about right. Unrack the bar and take about 2 steps back. Carefully get into a staggered stance wide enough so that your front knee will stay over your front foot in the squat. Your feet should be between hip and shoulder width apart, and you should feel balanced and sturdy. Keep the weight light until your movement is controlled, your front knee is not caving inward, and your torso stays upright during this squat. Focus on exploding up out of the bottom to build power. Okay, moving on to good mornings. Notice that I switched to a curved barbell. Your feet should be between hip and shoulder width apart, and these are going to work the entire posterior chain to help build a stronger squat. Once you've unracked the bar, place it as much as you can to the low bar position on your back. Start a hip hinge by moving your hips backward into flexion as if you're trying to touch that back wall with your glutes. Your knees should stay in place, shins vertical, a very small micro bend in your knees, and a rigid, solid spine. Your goal is to get your torso nearly horizontal while hinging the hips and maintaining knee position and back extension. You've got this, girl. Last exercise is a box squat. This one is to support your squat form, to help you with power out of the bottom of the squat and your confidence. Grab a box that when you sit on it, your thighs are just about parallel to the ground. Unrack the bar and take about 2 steps back toward that box. Your stance should be about shoulder width and your toes slightly out. Sit back, keeping your shins vertical until you touch the box, pause, and then squeeze your glutes and come back up without leaning your torso forward. If you find that the box is too low and you're not quite squatting to parallel yet, go ahead and either raise that box up or put an object on the box to make it a little higher for you. All right, what did you guys think? Leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about these 5 exercises that are gonna make you a squat boss. If you guys loved it, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up so I can keep creating this awesome content for you. Don't forget to please subscribe to the channel, and once you are, hit that notification bell so that you do not miss my next video, Jessie's Girls Squat. So if you loved the exercises today, make sure you guys check out jessiefitness.com and learn all about all of the Jessie's Girls training programs.